So I tried to ask myself, if I had to download everything that I would have told myself 10 years ago as quickly as possible, what would that list look like? Someone had challenged me, if you're going to write the framework to a mastermind or to your book even, what would that look like? So I smashed it out on a notepad and I checked that out. I was like, oh, wow, here's like 14 chapters. So we're going to talk about today almost 20 years of experience with women and how I had this huge epiphany in 2006 or 7. That's kind of when it all changed for me. Really, when you start off as a young man, you're constantly overthinking things. Like you're insecure about your body, you're wondering how to talk about girls, you're wondering why nobody's telling you what this stuff's supposed to be like, you're wondering why it seems like some chump or some loser just always gets the hot girl and you don't, you're left there thinking about it. What that results in is like this lurking around girls. You're hoping that just by some mere proximity, you land in their lap as some sort of godsend. So I remember one time I spent an hour and a half talking on the phone to a girl with no romantic inclination. You know, this is a girl I was attracted to. This is a girl that I liked. It's embarrassing. I remember in Puerto Rico, before my first wife, I waited 3 hours in a restaurant. 3 hours for her to show up. And that whole time, like, just think about what we call now, like, simp level or like the pushover level or the doormat level. 3 hours I waited there. I remember when I first got my official concrete date, like my set a definite date and time, I had talked to that girl for 45 minutes before I even mustered the courage to just say, oh, okay, let's go out Thursday. You know, I probably still said that one wrong. So 14 steps here. We're going to talk about how to get past those constant feelings of inadequacy, what it looks like when you finally break through to a framework, to something that actually works, to something that you can implement and put in place forever. Welcome back to another episode of 4x4 Recall, the only podcast talking principles versus tactics to make you the man that other men respect and women want to sleep with. And today we're going to bang through what would essentially be 14 chapters of a book, and it's probably going to be quick. Like I want to zip right through this and just talk about what I would tell myself 20 years ago. Really, honestly, I would go way back. I would go back to 16-year-old self. Like look at yourself in the mirror, all the 4x4 champions. Go back to 16-year-old self. Prep yourself to be 17 and 18-year-old self and tell them you are going to fucking crush it. From 18, 19, 20, 21, you're going to crush it because those are the years to have fun. Right around 22, 23, you really need to start getting serious. Still have fun in your 20s, but by 30, anyway, we'll go through that another time. So chapter 1, I stumbled on something when I was in Puerto Rico. And what I learned is that it's okay to get told no. And I don't know where this stems from. Maybe it goes back to when we're in a classroom, when we're worried about what the teacher's going to think about us, when we're worried about what our mom says to us or our dad said to us. But I realized that no is not bad. I started asking for things. I had worked some special assignments leading up to that in Puerto Rico, and you just start learning that no's not bad. People are thinking, get this through your head. People are thinking of themselves about 95% of the time. So you have no idea what's going on in their head. Their dad could have just died. They could have been rejected by some dude a week ago. They could be worried about what they're going to do tomorrow. Maybe their cat is sick. Maybe they don't have enough food to buy their cat food for their best friend tonight. Maybe they're so broke that they're just hoping you buy them a drink. Like you have no idea what's going on in someone's head. So don't sweat no. Like rejection is just a part of life. And really that's kind of chapters 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to go through those quickly. Chapter 2 would be rejection is that path to yes. There's a book. I stumbled on this book afterwards, but somewhere in Puerto Rico when I was figuring out, okay, the Latinas here like me. I'm a tall gringo with a big smile. It works. I can ask for them to show me how to salsa dance. Like I had this little gambit that I would use that worked really well. And then I reframed the whole game, which is an important part of life. It's something that you guys need to get really familiar with. Like sit down and look at the moving pieces of the game and ask yourself, how can you reframe this? So I told myself, what would happen if I go out and intend to get shot down 10 times? I'm going to try to get shot down 10 times. So I gamified it, is another fun word for that. And I went out there to talk to these girls, and I would just straight up ask them for their number. And it was almost like, some people call this like approach and eject, which I don't think is an approach and eject as a tactic to get more comfortable with women, is just about approaching the girl, asking some benign question and ejecting. But I would do that on the phone number side. I would just approach real quick, get a smile, get a quick laugh. Hey, let's hang out later. What's your number? And if they said no, boom. I remember celebrating inside a couple times, like, yes, just got my first one. Never in the 2 years that I was stationed in Puerto Rico. But in the 2 years that I was there and applied this approach and then reapplied it after the divorce of that first marriage, never once have I gotten to 10 rejections in one night. It's almost impossible. Like I would bet money on that. It's almost impossible. Some girl's going to be nice and give you the number, but you need to learn that rejection is the path to success. Rejection is the path to wild success. In fact, if you look at any guy that's crushing it, you will see deep down inside him, it's because he knows it doesn't fucking matter. So, getting to know where yes is the destination. That's a very interesting sales book. I'm going to put a description of it in the show notes. Look it up. That thing's probably like $8 nowadays. It's an old one, but that's the whole premise of it. All right, chapter 3. Polarizing quick is better than agonizing mediocrity. And I wish that I could just shake guys on the shoulders. They go in, they try to settle for mediocre small talk. They try to settle for what they think is not going to get them rejected, and they literally land themselves in the friend zone. And someone once said they were talking about how to not get in the friend zone. Well, if you're never presenting yourself as a friend, you'll never be in the friend zone. If you're always presenting yourself as a charming, dashing guy that's romantically interested in this girl, you're never going to land in the friend zone. It's just, it's impossible. I mean, you can meet a girl here and decide that she's cool and hang out, but you still know in the back of your head, I have girls like this. You're cool to hang out, but any chance that it comes along, we can do that bang, bang, boogie. We're going to do that freaking bang, bang, boogie and still be friends. So don't present yourself as a guy that's interested in pen pals. Don't present yourself as a guy that's interested in friends. The path to crazy success is polarizing, is getting through those no's, is understanding that it doesn't actually fucking matter. Like, whatever's going on in this girl's head, none of your business. Just show up there, present yourself, be who you are, ask for that number, get those no's, but do not agonize for years about what other men call one-itis or trying to get that dream girl. I mean, years go by. If anyone finds themselves in that position right now, let me know. Find me on 4x4recall.com, hit the contact form, and let me know. I'm not going to even say I'll snap you out of that, but let's just talk about what it means to have options. Chapter 4, it's not really a struggle, it's a flow. This is an interesting one because as men, we get it in our heads that we should be conquering things. We should be overcoming obstacles. Well, it's the wrong way to look at that. I've said in a previous episode that women have learned over the hundreds of thousands of years that whatever pursues them with laser-focused aggression is normally trying to hurt them. So women will run away from what's chasing them. So you got to understand, this isn't a fight. This isn't a struggle. This isn't man versus woman. This is a flow. And it starts with the flow of you being comfortable with yourself. It starts with the flow of you understanding how to hang out, have fun, and hook up. It starts with the flow of you understanding that their perception of you is not personal. Their perception of you is not something that you get angry about or get pissed off about. So it's not a struggle, it's a flow. Chapter 5, communicate like your high-value, busy self would. Think about this. I'm just going to ask you a question. How would you behave if 4 other girls right now were texting you? They're in your text messages right now. In your text messages, you haven't answered yet. There's 4 girls here. How would you behave? And on top of that, let's lace this some more. 2 high-powered executives had a proposal, and they're waiting for your yes or no. What would your life be like? What would your decision-making pattern be like if you had 4 girls that you haven't gotten back to and 2 high-powered executives waiting for your yes or no? Rest in that. You're not worried about it. You're focused on what got you to the proposals. You're focused on what got you that wild attraction with the women, and you get back to them when you can get back to them. And when they slip up and say some crazy shit, you don't even it's not even a contest. Remember, it's not a struggle, it's a flow. You don't go back and try to outwit her. You don't go back and try to out-butt hurt her. No, man, some girls don't even get a reply. Some girls get the thumbs up emoji. Some girls get hey, no worries, winky. And you're on to the next one, because just like you sitting at a bus stop, if you somehow made this crazy comfortable desk and you're just chilling there doing your high value self, and every 15 minutes another bus came along with smoking hot girls, that's your world, that's your life. All right, chapter 6. After you've established that you are this high value person, that time is a scarce resource, that you bless the world with creativity, strength, courage, and authenticity, then because you understand that, you set definite times and dates. And this is really the number one book that I recommend, Corey Wayne's How to Be a 3% Man. He does the best job of emphasizing how to set a definite time and date. I remember back in Boulder, I was single. I was taking salsa lessons from a salsa instructor, cute little thing, man, petite, a little bit older than me. And I was just super interested in her. Like, I forgot where it flipped, but we did something. I like grazed her stomach. And I'm like, this girl's got it. This girl's still got it. So as I was leaving, it just dawned on me. I texted her. I was like, hey, what are you doing tonight? You want to hang out? And she said, sure. What do you have in mind? Okay, right there. Set a definite time and date. I said, I'm going to, I forget the name of the place. I'm going to Dog Bowl. Meet me there at 8. She literally replied back. Older women will do this for you because they've been around these rodeos too many times. She literally replied back. She said, oh my God, thank you so much for just picking the place and time. That was the kindling of a long and sensual, sexy relationship right there with essentially no strings attached. It was beautiful because you set a definite time and date. And you do that because, 1, it works, 2, it makes you attractive, and 3, your time is valuable. You're a high-value guy. Okay, chapter 7, get out of her way. Once you've done this and you've got her on the hook and she's interested in you, let her fall in love with you. It takes 6 to 8 weeks. It's predictable. It is so predictable, it will become boring. I'm telling you, you'll know that Becky is about 2 weeks away from having the conversation with you saying, where's this going? And Gina is still a little on the reserve because she's only waiting for your response once a week, but she's very close to reaching out to you. WYD, what you doing? And then Lisa has already had the what are we doing talk, and you've kind of set your boundaries, and she stormed off for a little bit, and then she came back, and she said, I'm cool with that, because women would rather share a high-value guy than have a beta dude all to themselves. So get out of their way. Don't smother them. Don't ever bring up some question about where's this going. Don't ever bring up some question about, oh, let's be boyfriend and girlfriend or start planning weddings. No, man, their job is to chase you. So get out of their way. That's literally holding frame. That's how you become this confident man that's just creating space to hang out, have fun, and hook up. Chapter 8, you own the mystery. You own the mystery, and it's easy to support. So the saying in 4x4 Recall is, when the mystery ends, the story's over. Your woman will close the book. You don't want that. Well, I have plenty other episodes out there about the mystery. Go look for them if you want to dive deep on that. But you are responsible for creating mystery. The primary tip on that for this episode is don't over communicate. Just don't be sending pictures of your food. Don't be telling her where you're at when you're coming home and putting tracking devices on your phone. Gag me. All right, number 9. This is where guys shoot themselves in the foot and where I really want to slap them. Don't settle for the first 25 girls. And I know a lot of you guys are thinking about this number. You're like, 25? That's crazy. That's mind-blowing, because a lot of you guys have struggled to get one girl in 1 year. Look, I've been there. I know what you're feeling. But I'm telling you, you cannot stop, because when you apply this framework, so we're at chapter 9 with 5 more to go, when you apply this framework, they get better and better each time. And I'm not saying that's fair. I didn't make the rules. I didn't start this podcast to justify it or say it's more fair. It's just reality. And you as a man are doing yourself a disservice when you stop before 25. And I'm not even saying sleep with all of them. I'm not, 1, this is not slut shaming, and 2, this is not telling you to be a slut. But don't settle until you've run through 25 girls through that 6 to 8 week process. Seriously, feel this. Feel the command of your own resources. Feel what it's like to relax into knowing that they're going to do it all for you. Feel what it's like to know that you just have to own the mystery, that you just have to set definite times and dates, that you just have to polarize, be clear about your intent, approach the world with strength, courage, and authenticity, ask for numbers, set definite times and dates, get out of their way, and then just let this roll, man. There's so much downside to long-term relationships, which we'll do in another episode. People rebut this and they say, oh, that just means you found the right one. You didn't fucking find the right one. 8 billion people in this world. You didn't find the right one. There is no right one. They get better every time. Chapter 10. Have fun. Don't take this too seriously. There are rules that you need to follow. There is integrity. There are principles that, in my opinion, you should live your life by. But have fun with this. If you're too serious about it, you're going to have no chemistry. If you're too serious about this, you're not even going to enjoy it. So why are you doing it? If you're too serious about it, you might not get it up in bed. Like, just relax. Have fun with this. Don't take it too seriously. All right. With that note, chapter 11, be willing to walk away fast. Stuff's going to go sideways. People can fake it. People can fake it easily for 2 months. People can fake it for about 3 months. Honestly, people can fake it for 2 years. I had a woman I rented a apartment from at Boulder, and she was a officiant, someone who did marriages. And she said that. She said, you got to be with someone 2 years. People can fake it for 2 years. But if you've been with someone 2 years, you kind of know that person. So be willing to walk away fast. And we're going to get to, there's another chapter where I get into a softer side of this, but Be willing to walk away fast, but just tell them, again, with strength, courage, and authenticity, hey, Becky, look, I really like you. I think this is fun, but it's just something's not working out. We got to take some time apart. Like, whoa, how crazy is that now? You're the guy that's having the we got to take some time apart talk? Crazy. All right, chapter 12. Wish everyone the best and mean it. If you have a chip on your shoulder, you're going to get bitter-ass women in your life. If you're angry, you're going to get angry-ass women, or you're going to get the opposite of that, which is also a toxic relationship. You don't want to be this domineering jackass that's crushing some woman's life. So wish everyone the best and mean it. And that's part of walking away. I've been on a tear through business deals lately, and there's people trying to be masculine. They shift into alpha male of the group, which is a horrible fucking position to be in. But the moment I pick up on that, I just tell that person, hey, Jim, no worries, man. Take it easy, wishing you the best. And I mean it. I really wish this person the best, but we're not going to do business together. Same with the girl. Hey, Becky, I had a lot of fun. I had fun. Look, I got to go, though. I wish you the best. Take care. Deuces. You don't have to block her. There's no drama. Just wish them the best and mean it. Chapter 13. With all of this locked in. If you go back and review those first 12 chapters, you got it down pat. But chapter 13, always be prospecting. When you put this off, when you put this on the shelf because you didn't take my advice and you settled for the third girl, you're going to lose the skill. It's muscle memory. It takes warming up. You must always go out. You're nice to girl. You're nice to everyone, really, but crack a smile, make a joke, talk to girls about what they're up to. If you're single, for sure, even if you have 4 girls in your text message, I'm not saying go blow your schedule and dismiss all your duties, but always be prospecting. You should always consider that there's another bus coming. You should always consider that there's another girl, and you're willing to have those conversations. You're willing to open up. And chapter 14, find your real calling in life. And I know that this doesn't sound related to dating, but it makes all the difference. If you're working a dead-end job, if you're in something just because it pays you $40 an hour and you think that that's amazing, you're losing your soul. If you lose your soul, you've got no integrity. There's no authenticity behind the things that you're doing. You're just inviting girls out, wondering what you're going to do. You're secretly starting to resent them. You maybe had kids too early. Maybe you had kids with the wrong woman. Just all kinds of things. Like, find your real calling in life and pour your heart out into the world. Create value, share value, receive value. It's a self-sustaining thing. I say that the gift of the men is logic and reason, and your job is to maintain the mystery. But your purpose in this world is to create. You are constantly trying to crack the nut. You are the narrow vessel that's traversing the feminine ocean. The feminine is nonstop potential, is the beauty and tranquility of a calm wave, and the terror and horror of like a squall or a storm. But you as the masculine are trying to get somewhere. You have to find your purpose, or you would just be a little boat there lost on the waves, getting crashed up on whatever rocks are available, tossed around by women, falling into bitter pill camp, whatever. You have to ask yourself, what is aligned between your heart and your mind? What are you good at? What do you like doing? What can you get paid to do? That little Venn diagram is a super helpful start. If you like this episode, I want you to hit like and subscribe. Find me on Spotify. Leave a review right there. Hit me up on 4x4 Recall. Send me a message. Let's talk about how your dating life is going. I'll see you in the next one.